Hello. I am full of a lot of ideas. So I was kind of debating, what do I talk about today? Well, I am Jacqueline, and I used to be a professional matchmaker. I recently sold my company, so I feel like now I can start telling you guys some of the dirty little secrets of the minds of men and women. This is something I was quite privy to in my years of working with singles. And it honestly was pretty amazing. Okay, you might want to pull up real close to the screen here and really turn on the volume and grab yourself a notepad, a cup of tea, or you might need something a little stronger. But I got to tell you some things about men and women and their expectations and why finding love can be so hard. It really doesn't have to be so hard. So I'm going to share some how-tos on actually being successful about finding love. So in all the matches and all the introductions that I got to do, we had the advantage where we would do background checks and get to know people before anyone got to meet them. So there's a lot of security and comfort in that opportunity. But I honestly have to say the number one thing that made a difference about somebody finding love was actually being ready for love. It often blew my mind when somebody would sign up one of our highest levels and pretty much felt like they could order any person they wanted. Well, people can't be bought. So even if we could find the most perfect person for them and everything they had on the wish list, the other person had to want them in return. So we noticed that there were definitely people that were totally on just the hunt. They just wanted to be done being single, and where could their person be? And then there were people that thought they were ready, but really when it came down to the truth, they totally weren't ready. So where are you on your journey? Do you find that if the right person came along, you could get ready? Or do you feel like, I'm really ready for that person and I'm making room for that person and I'm willing to do the work for that mystery person? This is something harder said than done. The reason I have to say this is it just shocked me how many people that we would just give them exactly what they ordered up. Like I felt sometimes like they thought of us as a vending machine. You order the right digits, it out pops your favorite soda. But the reality is that then they needed to know how to date, how to stay in love, how to keep connected. And as we get older, and you guys hear me talk about being an empty nester, I'm really noticing how imbalanced people are on dating. So even as a matchmaker, I knew that it was tough, but these people were far more advanced in their decision to find someone. And majority of them were actually really, really open to learning how to be better at dating and more attractive to the type of person that they wanted. So I'm going to do a little flip-flop on the online dating world. Oh my gosh, that has been interesting. I'm going to recap some dates I went on recently just to see if you can relate to any of this. I have absolutely total faith in men and women. I really do. So I'm going to put that disclaimer out right there. But you can really, really tell when somebody has gone on too many first dates. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I went on a date with this guy, seemed like a nice guy, but no more than 2 sentences into our date conversation, he says he's been online for 5 years and that he's just gotten absolutely nowhere. But of course, everybody else's problem. He went on bashing the city that he works with and works for, yet doesn't live there. He was critical about so many things, barely asked a single question of me, and he was so intense on what he wanted to share and felt he just needed to pretty much, as I say, vomit everything so that he could get his point across. Now, the funniest part is at the end where I've only said 10 words, maybe, and he goes, wow, this was awesome. I totally want to go on another date. Can we please have another date? And it made me really think, how many times are you actually engaged on that date? How many times are you actually watching the other person's body language? How many times are you watching that they're pretty much ready to go? They're just being polite. And then being surprised and confused when they don't want to go out again. It's called a little bit of reflection. So let's think about that. Have you ever been on a date that you just thought went so awesome and you came back and the person didn't want to go out again? we did find this in the matchmaking. I will definitely say that there were times that I'd review both people's follow up. We just do a post date support, and it honestly seemed like they're both on two separate dates. So I'm talking directly to you. Can you relate? You are an awesome person, I am sure, and I'm sure you're looking for love. So did this ever happen to you, or did you ever do this on a date where you really didn't do anything to make sure the other person was comfortable and you just needed to vent? It is amazing. I was talking to this one of our matchmaking clients one time, and he was telling me about a date he had been on with somebody not part of the agency a couple years previous. And he said that she, being his personality counseling, she went on and on and on, and to the point of crying, makeup running down her face. First date, mind you. Talks about all these tragedies and difficult things and all the stuff that happened on, and pretty much kind of cleaned her up and sent her on her way after the date. And never once did she learn anything about him. There was no relationship connection. It was a therapy session. And at the end, she's like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. I can't wait to go out again. And so how many of you had kind of a therapeutic, or have you been therapy for your dates? That's what I want you to think about. And seriously, you got to look at this. I work with people every day on relationships and dating, and I'm not looking to be therapy for somebody, and I don't want to be their therapy. It's about you being healthy and ready to date. It's about you being in a place where you kind of just have to have some fun. I'm noticing people are overanalyzing their dates, or they want to be boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever that teenage title is, by the first or second date. Like, they don't even really want to get to know you. They just want the title. They want the specifics. So where are you on your dating journey? What is it that you're doing? I'm so curious on your perception of dating. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and give a thumbs up if you want some more dating tips. Let me know about some of your crazy dates. I hear about them every day, and they just bust me up. They make me laugh all the time. And they also really remind me of how important it is that you stop, pause, and check how the person across the table is doing. Do you want to get to a second date? Do you want to actually be in a relationship, or you just want to keep proving that all the good ones are gone? Actually, all the good ones aren't gone. There's some really cool people out there. You try not to be hard to date. Try not to be acting like you're more ready for a relationship when really you're not. It's not just about time. It's about effort. It's about willingness to learn about the person, invest in them, be available when they ask you out, ask them out if you want to go out, communication, and let yourselves evolve. If you're dating in your mid-30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, each of you's got to come in with a little bit of baggage, a little bit of traffic, a little bit of miles on your history and experiences. So this is your chance to get to know somebody new, fresh, and invigorating. It's fun, but you kind of have to decide, where are you at on this, and how awesome are you to date? Let's get your dating quality rating score up a little bit, and let me know what it is that you want to have some answers to on dating, how to switch the conversation. What is it that you need to make it so it's a more enjoyable conversation, or do you need some exit strategy tips? I just want to know what you want. And as someone who's been working with people for so long and matching people and being at many weddings for the people I've matched, and also celebrating in the journey to continue looking for the right person, you got to try out a few models to figure out what you want, and designs of the type of relationship you want in the sense of models. Do you want a tall person? Do you want somebody who's athletic? Do you want somebody who's active? Do you want somebody who travels a lot? Do you want somebody with kids, without kids? Yes, there's all those logistics, but you also have to have your heart and spirit and mind in the right place. So let's add a little extra sparkle to the process. Let's get clear as to what you and I need to talk about. What is it that you really need to get a little reality check on? Add the comments below. Subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to have a whole ton of new videos coming out, and I just want to support you to be ready, so when the right one comes along, you're ready to snag them. And if the right one isn't coming along, you're really not ready, have some fun just flirting. Have fun getting out. Have fun meeting new people. It's pretty awesome, and you can just enjoy the process, but kind of get an idea of where you're going. Alrighty, let's have some fun.